This is the Halting Winter Podcast. My name is Seth Winterhalter. I'll be your host today. Halting Winter is a coaching and consulting company. We exist to help overwhelmed business owners align their company, their products, their services, their teams toward a clear and compelling mission so that you can grow, you can scale, you can soar. If you're overwhelmed with the realities of being a business owner, you're trying to figure out, man, I've got sales and marketing, I've got the leadership team and the mission, I've got what are we going for the goals ahead for the year, I've got cash flow and I've got overhead, I've got all these elements. I got into business because of this thing and now I'm saddled with all these other elements and I don't know how to make them work in tandem. I don't know how to scale them. If that's you, man, we would love to come alongside you and do this, give you a framework that helps not only each one of those individual areas really begin to grow and begin to produce profit and success for you, but we want to align them together because that's what most businesses, they'll work individually on those components. It's kind of like in a ship, right? In a ship that has holes in it, you're kind of continuing to put your fingers in the holes to make sure something's not leaking, hoping that the boat will get where it goes, but it's not really working together. And that's where we use at Halting Winter, we use the Business Made Simple framework, and that's what we're talking about today. One of the elements of Business Made Simple. This is a company owned and directed by Donald Miller, and I'm a certified coach of them. I've been using their frameworks and programs long before they've even become Business Made Simple, back when Donald Miller was just an author writing, and that's why I think I just love Don's frameworks is because he's kind of an artist bent. He uses the big picture of story and how everything is a story. Everything is the components of a story is how we do marketing, how we do sales, how we connect to our customers, how we motivate and inspire our staff. It all kind of boils down to story. Are we living? Are we preaching a compelling story? Are we inviting people in to a compelling and clear story? And so again, if that's you, if you're a business owner and you want to scale, you're trying to figure out how to scale, how to actually enjoy being a business owner, I'd love to come alongside and help you. If you can schedule a free consultation call, I'd love to just chat with you and hear more about your story, where you're at, and where we might come alongside and help. You can go to HaltingWinter.com and we would love to set up a time with you. If you're interested in a free business assessment, we offer through Business Made Simple a free, it's called My Business Report. You can go to our website and click on the link to do a free business report. And we'd love to follow up with you on that too and just talk about the different ways we might be able to help give you some overview in where your business is and where it might be some weak spots and encourage you on what might be some strong spots. So if that's you, hit us up, HaltingWinter.com. Today we do the final closeout of kind of what we've been talking about this week, which is sales. Sales is one of the primary aspects of every successful business. And so we've been talking about the Business Made Simple sales script and how we both coach and teach our sales force to speak about our products and solutions, but also how we really think about the story we're inviting people in. And so this sales script not only works for salespeople as they connect with customers, it works with your marketing. It's going to influence, and you'll see that if you've taken any of the Business Made Simple courses, this one, the customer is the hero. It's our sales how we do sales, it's very similar to our marketing. They all are connected. They both use a very similar framework because your business should be using the same frameworks to speak. Whether that's internally speaking to your staff, whether that's externally speaking to your customers, whether that's the way you're operating, you need to be using the same frameworks or else you're going to have a really weird it's going to be like a Frankenstein business that you run, right? Different parts, like we talk about a business being like a plane. Well, you don't want a one Cessna wing and one like Learjet wing. You don't want, right? Your body, your cabin to be the cabin of a 747 airliner and your wings to be little Cessna wings, right? You want to be, you want your business to be growing in the same scales, in the same spaces, using the same frameworks so that it's all connected and thriving together. Okay, well, let's recap a little bit. So sales, we said the number one thing in sales, the very first problem you need to address is The problem is not your problem, it's your customer's problem. Have you addressed your customer's problem? In the very opening, are you listening to your customer to hear what is their problem? Why have they come to you? Don't just start with you. Don't just overwhelm them with your story and your solutions. Start with them. Why are they here today? What problem are they trying to solve? And how do I really squeeze the juice of that question so that then everything that flows out of my mouth after that is running down a particular channel? Now I have boundaries to say, this is what they said to me. I want to make sure that I'm solving that problem and not problems I'm inventing. I want to solve their problem. I want to speak to this client. So what is their problem? Then once you've really squeezed the juice of their problem, now I'm going to pitch my product as the solution, because that's what I do. I'm in the solution business. You're in the solution business. Your product and services should be solving problems. So how can you articulate that? Remember, we're going to talk about the benefits of our product, not as much the features. We'll talk about features if they help us pitch benefits, but we just don't want to talk about features because features is really our language. Features can overwhelm clients. And instead talk about the benefits. Benefits make people feel good, and we buy based on feelings, not based usually on logic. Yes, there are some, but you'll be able to figure that out pretty quickly in the way a person talks. If they are very logic-based, they are going to want to know about features, and they will let you know. What are the features? Does it have this, and this? And then you'll be able to go to town on all the features. But most customers don't want to know that. They get overwhelmed by that. They want to know the benefits. So you pitch the product as a solution with benefit language. Number 3, then, this is what we talked about last podcast, is we want to give our customer a plan. We don't want to just pitch the product and go, okay, it's up to you now. No, we want to give them a very articulated plan to close that sale. We want to say, okay, so now let's select the package. Let's select which of our 3 products would fit you best. I'm going to have recommendations because I'm not going to put that in their court. I'm going to say, these are our 3 products. It sounds like this one is the perfect fit for you because you've said XYZ and this one solves XYZ the best, right? So I want to help them even select that package. Then I want them to select a package. I want them to select a date. I want to give them the address, whatever, right? What are the 3 easiest things for them to become a customer? What is that plan that they need to now initiate to be able to take action? Okay, now today we're going to talk about number 4 and 5. This is the close. These are the final things of the sale. So I listen to the problem. I pitch the product as a solution. I give the customer a plan. And now, number 4, I paint the stakes. Remember, this is all the Business Made Simple framework with Donald Miller. And so if this is new to you, this isn't me. And if it's not new, you're like, this sounds familiar. That's because it's Business Made Simple. So we are painting the stakes. And you'll see why I brought Business Made Simple up is because you're going to hear this is similar from marketing, similar from the way we speak with our staff. Like, do we understand the stakes? Now, what do I mean by paint the stakes? There are 2 stakes. There's the negative and there's the positive. I want to paint for them the reality if they don't purchase today the products or services that are a solution to their problem. I want to paint the reality that things are going to stay the same. And in fact, things aren't going to stay the same. Things are going to get worse, right? We do personal coaching at HaltingWinter as well. We have a program called the Spartan Program where it has 3 different packages to help people get into the best shape of their life. And we don't mean the best shape just simply physically. It means the best shape physically, mentally, emotionally. It means you're going to be at peak performance for the life that you want to live. So that's what we need to figure out is what life are you trying to live? Let's help you get into the best shape that actually allows you to live that life. Having a 6-pack might not actually be the best shape for you. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dieting. It takes a lot of, you have other things going on in your life. So that's not actually the best shape for you. Right? But that doesn't mean you need to be overweight and out of shape and fat. Like carrying around excess fat is not going to produce the best shape for you because it's not going to leave you at peak performance to have the mental clarity, to have the energy, to have the mobility, right? And so that's what we want to help people work through. We want to figure out, though, what we want to paint the stakes to go, listen, like, if you don't, you said this is the problem. And if you don't take action today, that problem's only going to get worse. And you know it's only going to get worse because you haven't stayed at the same weight. You've continued to gain more weight. You've continued to, your mobility is getting worse. Your health is getting worse, right? There are things that you just don't, things are just hardly ever static. Things are always moving in some direction. And so that's what you want to paint. You want to paint. Now, this is where you don't want to be some slimy salesperson that's right using emotional manipulation. But it's one thing to be manipulative and wrong. It's another to paint the reality. Like, they came to you, that customer has come to you because they have a problem. This is where they call it in sales, they call it the doctor frame. You need to step into the doctor frame at the close of the sale and remind them of why they came to you. Because again, they're going to be fighting. Whenever you offer a solution, now they're going to fight the other problem. The problem of cost, the problem of time, what it really takes to make a change. Because they know it's not easy, right? Unless you're pitching something that's just total BS, so like for fat loss, all you have to take is drink this magic tea every morning, and you'll lose 40 pounds. Okay, they know it's BS. You know it's BS. Everyone knows it's BS. But why do those things sell? Because people want easy. And they'd rather have it. It's like Pavlov's dog, right? They'd just rather have easy in their mind. They'd rather just have the bell ring in their mind than actually go, okay, I know that's not going to help me. I really need real solutions. But real solutions mean real actions, real discipline, and I don't want that. I want it to be easy. Okay, well, this is where you have to paint the stakes for that. Like, it's not going to be easy. It's also not going to be torture, right? I'm not sending you to a concentration camp to get fit. We're going to, right? This is where you can still enjoy pizza. You just can't enjoy a whole pizza. You still can, do this. You can still do this. We'll create the plan to figure that out. But you might not be able to do that at the beginning because you want to lose weight. Once we lose the weight and get you into shape, then a sustainable diet's much different than a lose fat diet, right? So let's paint the stakes. Let's be honest with them, but let's also be honest like a doctor says, listen, I get it. Chemo sucks. But if you want to cure cancer, you've got to do the chemo. Sure, you can go home and you can not do chemo and you can save yourself some of that pain, but pain's coming regardless because the cancer's still there. And the cancer's still going to wreak havoc. And so do you want lesser pain now in the hopes that it eradicates the cancer, or do you want the pain of the cancer and then death? Like, right, that's a doctor being a doctor. And so you've got to really step into the doctor frame and go, I got to paint the stakes. I got to remind them why they came to me. They came to me to solve a problem, and I know that I can solve it. Now, know that you can solve it. Don't just make a sale to make a sale. Make a sale because you really believe that your product is the solution to their problem. And this is where, again, you listening. Salespeople should be great listeners, and they should be listening to their customer to figure out what is their real problem and does our product or service solve that problem. This is what I do, right? I was talking to a client. I'm still talking with a client, a consulting client with a business, and I'm trying to figure out what her real problem is. And I haven't really figured it out yet. Again, we're just in the kind of the talking stages, trying to understand her business and kind of what's going on. But I'm trying to be really careful about, because I want to help her. I love her product. I love her company. I love her energy. I'm like, man, I just want to be a part of her success. But if I don't really have clarity, I don't want to waste her money and really my time to try to figure out if, man, maybe there's something here. I want to be real frank with her and just go, listen, I'm not quite sure yet what I can help you with. And until I can figure that out, then I'm not going to offer you consulting services for you to pay me to try to figure out if I can still help you. I want clarity. I want to know that, okay, you've said this is your problem. I know here is the solution to that problem. Here's the steps that we need to take to get you from A to B. And this is what that costs. And this is the timeline, and let's go. And then she can go, yeah, awesome, right? Until I get there, I just can't And I know that some people say, man, well, you'll eventually be able to help her. Just start, consulting. I just don't work that way because I want clarity, because I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste her time. I don't want to waste my time. I want to help people. And if I don't feel confident in being able to help her, then it's not a win for either of us, right? I have other people to help. So think about that. Have your salespeople really think about, like, is this product, don't just sell to sell. And why not? Because that's going to make a customer unhappy with you. You don't want dissatisfied customers. You don't want customers that have a problem that you can't really solve, and then you pitched a product and now they don't like your product because they're like, this product sucks. It didn't solve my problem. And you're like, well, we don't really solve that problem. Who told them that, right? And so just be careful that you don't go chasing sales just to chase sales. Chase sales that you actually solve a problem for, so that then you have great customer reviews. You have the marketing takes care of itself, because your fans, your customers become fans who are like, dude, this is the answer to this problem, right? They create some marketing for you. So paint those negative stakes. And when you paint the negative, you create a sense of urgency. Like, this is why you need to act now, because it's not getting better. That problem's growing. It's getting worse, and we can solve it. Let's solve it right now, right? I had people all these last 2 months, November and December, tell me it wasn't a good time. We've got Thanksgiving, we've got Christmas, we've got this and this, and this is not a good time to get fit. And I'm like, it's the best time. If you can get fit, if you can stick to fitness habits and disciplines during the holidays, how easy is it going to be for you in January, February, March when it's easy sailing? The problem is, if you get fit in January, February, March, and all of a sudden Easter comes and you go hog wild and that sends you on a spiral, all the work that you did now in the easy moments went to waste in the hard moments. Train yourself in the difficult, so that then whenever you face the difficult again, you go, I've already got it. I already persevered through this. This is easy. That makes sense. So that's the way I'm trying to pitch it to them. So paint the negative and create a sense of urgency. Second, then paint the positive. Don't just leave them with Don't just leave them with the negative. Say, remember, I want to also remind you of what happens when that problem is solved. Imagine what your life will be like with that problem solved. Imagine what your business will be like when you are scaling and soaring. Imagine what it would feel like to have the overwhelming confusion of you not knowing what to do in those particular departments, in those areas of your business. Imagine a framework that works throughout it. One message that you're saying, one thing that you continue to pitch and to row towards with your team, with your customers. Imagine the freedom of that. Imagine the ability to dream again, to create again, to not be overwhelmed with stress. Imagine, right? I want them to imagine now a life free of their problem. So pitch that, explain that, be real with them about the hell that they're currently experiencing with that problem, and then paint for them the reality of the heaven that they're going to experience when that problem is solved by your product or service. Finally then, so we've got a problem, we've got the product as a solution, we've got the plan that your customer is going to take to now say yes to the product. I paint the stakes once again to remind them why they need to act right now, to create that urgency, to move from their negative reality to a positive. And then finally, number 5, I'm going to call them to action. I'm going to ask them to actually place the order. I'm going to ask them to choose the package. I'm going to ask them when they want their onboarding call, right? Well, I'm giving them permission now to do what they want to do. People need that permission. That's why they say, I need to ask my spouse. Well, is your spouse going to say no to your health? Is your spouse going to say, no, you don't, I don't want your business to succeed. I want to stay where it is, and I want you to continue to be overwhelmed and you continue to not make the money you deserve? Of course they're not saying that. Of course your spouse, so you're telling me that your spouse wants you to stay fat and unhealthy and closer every day towards a heart attack? No spouse says that. And if they do, then maybe they don't need to be your spouse, right? I mean, that's crazy. Of course your spouse wants you to get healthy. Of course your spouse wants you to have a successful business. So it's not that you got to go ask your spouse. It's that you need to get permission to say yes, to invest in your future. Remember, we are calling people to invest in the solution to their problem, right? This is not the cost. I never say that when I'm working with clients. I never say, hey, the cost of this program. I say the investment, because I don't. My stuff isn't. Yeah, of course it's a cost, but I want them to see it. Everything that they're doing, at least that I sell, is an investment. It's going to, investments create money. Investments grow. Investments build upon the compounding interest. There's nothing I offer that's just static. You spend money and boom, it's gone, right? No, this isn't just a memory. This isn't Disneyland. This is life altering. If I get you healthy personally, best shape of your life, you're going to make more money. Your relationships are going to thrive that much better. You are going to enjoy all of life so much better. So I made life how much better. That's an investment, a compounding interest of a better life. Same thing with your business. You making more money, you having less stress, you having less overwhelm, you actually scaling a business to greater heights gives you more freedom with your family, gives you more enjoyment at work. That's huge. So of course it's an investment. I'm asking you to invest in the life that you want. And so it's not a cost, it's an investment. And so, I'm calling you, I'm giving you permission to say yes to that. So that's where you have to help. You remember, we talked about it in the last podcast. Your customer at the point of the sale, at the call to action, is going to feel the fears, is going to try to make things confusing to them, and you just want to keep it clear. Here's the package. We start with the onboarding call. Let's make it happen. You don't need to be living the way you are. Let's get you to where you want to be. Boom. Right? So, recap. We have a problem, number one. Number two, we pitch the product as the solution, because it is. Make sure it is the solution to their product, to their problem. Product is solution. Number three, we give the customers a plan. I would encourage you to have a 3-step plan. Choose this package, choose this date, or give us your shipping address. We do the rest. Something like that. What is the 3-step plan that they take? Number 4, I paint the stakes. What are the negative stakes? What's at stake if they stay, if they do not purchase today, if they continue in their problem? And then I want to paint the positive stakes. What happens? What are they going to feel? What are they going to experience when that problem is finally solved? And then number 5, I want to call them to action. I want to ask them to place the order, to select the package, to choose their whatever it is. What's the first step of that plan that they're going to take action on right then? All right? Hopefully that helps as we think about sales. That's the Business Made Simple framework. And if you say, man, that sounds really good, that sounds really enticing, I need help putting that into, I need help doing the verbiage and figuring out that for us. I get that you may be able to sit down and go, let's do this. If you do that on your own, awesome. We kind of have, I'll just give you our plan. We have 3 easy solutions. Hit me up and I can get you, you can do this all online. It's kind of the do-it-yourself version. You can do a Business Made Simple subscription and have all the online access. You can do coaching where I walk with you and help you, you put this into practice for you. Or there's the solution where I actually come out and we actually work through your entire process. We look at your entire organization and try to really unite all the frameworks together. So wherever you're at, if it's just a sales thing you need help with, man, I'd love to help you. If it's an organizational kind of overhaul and tune-up, man, I'd love to help you. Hit me up, Seth Winterhalter, HaltingWinter.com. Schedule a free consultation call or take the My Business Report and do the free business assessment to see how your business in those 6 areas are working and to see where we might be of help. So if that's you, we'd love to help. Looking forward to next week as we continue to work through the Business Made Simple frameworks. Until then, see ya.